welcome again to Jess of the North, where we are doing things a little bit differently than we expected, which is par for the course, honestly. I have held off on putting in my fall veggies in the greenhouse besides the one I've started indoors because we had a heat wave up in the 90s, which meant that in the greenhouse yesterday it got up to like 120. And that's at the peak of the greenhouse. At the base of the greenhouse, it was still up at like 110 because I have temperature monitors at the exhaust up there of the tube. That's the peak of the greenhouse. And then I have one underneath my gardening bench at the intake of the geothermal tubing. So it gives me a pretty good idea of what temperature range I'm dealing with, both at the peak where heat rises and at the base where it's cooler. I have tried, this is new to me, since this is my first year having the greenhouse during the summer, built at least, because last summer was basically spent building it all summer. I'm trying the shade cloth. I should only need it for, I don't know, maybe a month, we'll see. But I'm going to monitor the temperatures today in here, see what my temperature gauges say. I have obtained my bug netting from in the shed. So I've got this really long length, and then I've got the shorter length. That was cut to the length of the exterior beds out there. So my longest beds out in the main garden are 11 feet long. In here, they're 17. If you are somebody who doesn't like to, I don't know, monitor small details, it would be easier if I had standardized the lengths of all my beds. And not just the length of the beds, but the space between the beds. That would have also been nice to standardize. My only thing that I did do well when I planned all the beds, not my only thing, one of the things I did well was ensure that I could fit through with like a bucket, a series of buckets, my wheelbarrow. I did make a change in the sense that I have that four-wheeled garden cart now. So the four-wheel garden cart will only fit so many places, but I don't know that I'm really mad about that. So I don't know, seems fine. Now is a great time in the season to be thinking about the things that you liked where they went, where they were. Be thinking about what you want to do differently next year. So I had last fall guessed that this trash can, being black and being like, I don't know, like 35 liters, 45, something like that. I thought it would be warm enough to, I don't know, stay defrosted. Not true, first of all. Found that out the hard way, so that one cracked. So I have it with like Gorilla Tape holding it together. So far, so good. I also thought it would be sufficient size to water everything, which in the winter, that's true because there's more moisture held in here because all the doors are shut and all the windows are shut. But it is insufficient during the summer. And it's really not quite as convenient unless I'm using it to mix fertilizer. So I think next year I will focus more on ensuring that my irrigation is set up correctly, and I'll probably just need to invest in a brass siphon. If you're not familiar with the brass siphon, it portions your liquid fertilizer at a set rate to the flow of the water through the piping, so that you're feeding in line with your watering. So I will probably just invest in that improvement for next year and be able to utilize my liquid fertilizer more efficiently and utilize my time, because watering by hand in the greenhouse is honestly more than I have time for. At least in the summer when there's also the exterior beds to consider. The experiment with the pea shoots in the hanging basket. So those are the sugar snap magnolias. That one's going pretty well. But as far as tall telephones, not at all. I have tried the tall telephone peas this whole season. It could be the packet I received, it could be what I'm doing with them. I have not historically had a problem with peas, so I don't know, maybe it's just this variety. Maybe, I don't know. I've got nothing. I tried them early in the spring. I tried them in the shade. I tried soaking these ahead of time to see if that would speed up their germination, and that did not. These have maintained really good moisture. The compost mixture I have is really good at maintaining that kind of moisture. So yeah, I'm gonna monitor the temperatures today because, as you can see, the shade cloth is only underneath the windows. Normally, I think you would hang this inside, but I don't necessarily have the structure to do that well, and I don't want to inhibit the windows getting airflow. So we'll see what this does. And my plan is this evening to put in the seeds I started for in here, and then start things from seed that I was unable to start inside. Yesterday I removed the amaranth from its stalks, so I'm going to let it continue to dry. I still have all of that I need to do. Today, since I'm monitoring the temperatures in here, outside I will be doing a harvest day. It's been every couple days that I'm getting quite a bit of things. I've reached the point where my deep freezer was full of like 15 bags of whole tomatoes, so that's not what I want taking up my freezer space. I started the process of moving those to be able to defrost them, which means this week, probably after work, I'll be canning whole tomatoes in the evenings. I can fit about 7 at a time in my canner. If I had a second level of whatever that wire trivet thing is that goes inside, I could do probably 14, but I don't, so 7 at a time. And I'll be interested to see how many quarts 15 freezer gallon bags of whole tomatoes gives me. So yeah, busy weeknights this week. Before it freezes again, I need to put in the stairs on the west side of the greenhouse, and I need to take cinder blocks, since I have several of those. I think it'll take about 12. I'm going to put a layer underneath and then another one up. Today will be harvest day outside, and if it doesn't get too hot, I might try to clean out the shed. Thanks for coming along with me. Catch you next time. I still have so many things happening. It's a busy sparrow morning. As soon as I noticed them, they went away, and there were like 6 of them. What's up, little buddies? Great day for a little drink. Local watering hole.